Hey everyone, it's Deb. Well, if you missed it today on Twitter, Bob the drag queen pretty much eviscerated his fellow New York RuPaul's Drag Race champion, Bianca Del Rio. Bob ended Bianca with a single deadly tweet. Let's get into this Twitter war right now. Okay, so it all started with Bob tweeting out that Bob is so sick of hearing drag reduced to, "you're just a man in a wig," as if every other form of art is more valid. Not really sure what that means, but apparently Bianca Del Rio took it as a dig because she replied. Now, she replied, "I've seen your wigs, dot, dot, dot. Hashtag no comment. Hashtag leave this one alone." Well, hashtag she probably wishes that she had, because that's when Bob responded with the scathing, "Don't you have an R joke to tell?" Now, let me just explain this in case you're not familiar with the backstory on this. So, a few weeks ago, back in the summer, Bianca did what a lot of people thought was an awful, myself included, thought was an awful comedy routine at Pride in Montreal, in which she decided that it would be funny, or what she thought was funny, to make fun of Blair for talking about having been sexually assaulted. Bianca said when Blair was in the bottom two, but it wasn't even when she was in the bottom two. It was when she was on the runway getting her evaluation. There was a lot of backlash about this. Bianca's promoter had to apologize on her behalf, since Bianca refused to apologize herself, and she never apologized to Blair. Blair dealt with it in her own way by putting out a tweet referencing uh, our culture, and that's about that. But only two queens that I saw. I did a story on it. I had a lot of people who were survivors really thank me for talking about it, and I got to hear a lot of their stories. And I was looking out for to see like which let's put it in quotes, sisters would respond, and Bob was one of only two. Now Bob put a very subtle one out. Bob said something like, "I guess some people are just going to be messy," and just a shout out to Venus Delight, who actually really did put out a tweet that said it is not appropriate or funny to joke about rape, and I am paraphrasing. Now, I don't know if this is old beef between Bianca and Bob, or if it's new. I do know that the very first time I met Bob was in 2014 at an event in Manhattan, and Bianca was there, and she was supposed to host the event, but she was too busy. She had booked herself. She had double booked herself, so she came just for a very short time and then left, and Bob hosted the event, and so that's how I got to know Bob. And Bob was hilarious, and it ended up being a good time. Anyway, getting back to the tweets. Now, Bianca took a couple hours to think of her reply, but boy, did she come out back with comedy gold. She says, "I am offended." And that's when the fans piped in. Harry said, "So was Blair," which she was. And Spooky Leo says, "Apologize then, LMAO," because Bianca has not apologized. And now this one's my favorite because it's from somebody whose name is Del Rio. This is a Bianca stan saying, "Good." Um, there were also people who said some serious things. Sonia said, and this is very, very true. This goes back to what I said earlier. "You should just know where to draw the line." Again, it is not about Blair in all caps, but the victims of abuse that felt honestly hurt by your jokes because we really liked you. I don't know that everybody did. And then you went and said what you did. It is not okay. It was blanked up. And that, again, is so true. I heard from so many people. I heard so many stories. And there were a lot of people that were upset, that were triggered and everything. And for somebody, when you mess up, you should apologize. You should own up to it and not just give a snarky little interview and just act like you didn't do anything wrong. You're allowed to make a joke about whatever you want to make a joke about. No, you know what? Not everything is funny. Clearly, in this instance, this is not a funny topic. Now, in case you think I'm overreacting or whatever, here is Bianca's, I'm going to put it in quotation marks, comedy routine from Montreal Pride, where she jokes about rape.
Fuck you! You noticed she wasn't raped till she was in the bottom two. Think about that, bitch. That's strategy. That's fucking strategy. Oh, fuck you. Rape is funny if you hadn't had it. Listen. And if you weren't raped, remember this. You're ugly. Oh, we're supposed to have sympathy. Fuck you. It is what it is, maggots. Think about it. You're in the middle. You're in the bottom two, and then you have to listen. I don't know what it's like because I didn't have to do it. But the thing is, this moment, you pulled out every story you could. If this one party, somebody.
Now, it was nice to see that some of the sisters did chime in on this. Shea Coulee was one. Um, I would have rather have seen some words rather than a meme, but I'll take any reaction I can get. Well, that's me personally. And another one was Monet Exchange. It's interesting because Monet is rumored to be in All Stars 4. And so I don't even know if she was around at the time that this story broke or if she just heard about it after the fact. And Monet just finished touring with Blair on The War on the Catwalk. So who knows, maybe she got to talk to Blair, about the whole situation and has some insight, and I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just speculating. Now, I always forget if Monet and Bob are drag mother and drag daughter, which I think they are, or if they're drag sisters. But anyway, they're very close friends. They're both from the New York scene, so they both have had to deal with Bianca throughout the years, both before she was famous and since she's become famous. So who knows if they're all just, having fun. I don't think it's very funny. Or if there is some animosity between them. Let me know what you think in the comments about this whole situation. I personally think that given the current environment with the Supreme Court hearing and all of that, it's just not the right time to be making jokes about rape, even though the jokes were made back in the summer. I mean, there's never a good time. But I do think that we're going to see more and more backlash on this, and who knows, maybe we'll even see an apology. So if you'd like to see an apology from Bianca Del Rio, please leave a comment below asking her to apologize. And if you disagree with me, leave a comment saying why you disagree. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check me out on Instagram, DragCentric.
I walk alone.